Yeah.
Welcome. This is it might be a little bit loud. I just I blew the microphone. So this is episode 57 of KT Confidential. Thanks for joining us. And today, oh my! I gotta turn that off. Why is my ringer going, even though it's on silent? Hey, I can't talk right now. I'll call you back. Did it hang up there?
No, but you're hooked up Apple TV.
Well, it goes through my computer, right?
Oh, right.
So it goes to the Apple TV.
There's got to be a better way to do that.
Yeah. Anyways, welcome, episode 57, KT Confidential. Today, it's Chris Behe. Do people call you different? Like, do people pronounce your last name wrong?
100% of the time.
What would they say? Like, I can't imagine the variations people can come up with. It's only a few letters.
Well, Behe.
Okay. Behe?
Yeah.
Behe.
Speedy, even though there's no...
I was like, I get called Andrew, even though there's no... Yeah, they add a letter.
Yeah, not a common name, so it's understandable anyways.
Well, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah.
You had a great topic that you wanted to talk about, so I want to run with it. Appliances.
Yeah.
And why don't we just start? You're pretty excited. You just bought what was it, like a whole new set?
Kinda.
Okay.
2-piece.
Okay.
So our microwave never really worked right since we moved in. We've been in our house for a year now, and Christmas is coming up. I want to just get a new microwave exhaust combination.
Right. So this is an over-the-range microwave.
Yeah. Jen didn't like the idea of just getting a microwave because then they won't match. That
makes complete sense. So instead of just spending $300, now you're spending $3,000.
Not quite. But anyways, I didn't realize what the scope. I mean, I did realize, but until you like dive into it, the scope of different options out there. And because I'm very opinionated and Jen is very opinionated, we had a really hard time agreeing what type of appliances to get. First, I wanted to run gas, and then we decided to get against that. Then the only thing I wanted 100% was a slide-in range. I just think they look better. Don't like the control panel at the back. I just they have a
much cleaner looking.
Cleaner look. Our backsplash goes all the way down. So I figured, hey, if we're gonna not get a gas, like that's my one must-have. I want that nice, modern, clean look. Yeah. She wanted a double oven. There is about 5 million options in stoves. There's like 2 options for a double oven, induction top, slide-in, which was our 3 criterias.
So it makes your decision easier, I suppose.
Yes.
Okay.
But like crazy expensive or like ugly.
Right.
So we were fighting. We finally made a decision on what to get. We found one that had the warming tray at the bottom, the warming drawer. This one that actually is a baking drawer.
Right.
So it's a single oven, but it has the option to cook something in the bottom.
Yes.
It's an induction top.
Yeah.
It's a slide-in. So we're happy.
Perfect.
But it was a big process for us. And I think a lot of people probably either don't know what type of decision they're going to make. They might be rushing into it, or they're not thinking of all the options out there.
Yeah. Well, for sure. People don't. A lot of people. Well, Ariel and I are a good example of opposites. So I like to do a ton of research, but possibly too much. And I overthink things. Mm-hmm. Ariel will just buy things on a whim.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about hearing how you like induction, because I've always been really interested in it.
Yeah. A lot of benefits from it. The one disadvantage probably for us is we have to get all new pots and pans. And last year we invested in really good frying pans, spent $400 or $500 just on like frying pans, different sizes, and they won't work now.
So they have to be metal.
Yes.
Right.
Basically, you can test your pot and pans if it holds a magnet.
So for those of the people listening that don't know what induction is, and sometimes I think people hear induction and they think you're talking about convection, and they get those things confused.
Yeah.
So do you understand how it works?
Not really.
But it's magnetic. Exactly. It uses magnets to generate heat. The neat thing I saw, the first time I ever heard of it, they showed an example of had a frying pan they cut in half, and they put like a chocolate bar on it, both on the burner. And only the side that was on the pan was melted. Yeah, so it's more efficient because it only heats the part of the pan where the induction range is touching. Mm-hmm. It's great in case someone accidentally turns it on. It doesn't obviously get as hot, but it's much quicker. That magnetic reaction heats up a lot quicker than a conventional cooktop. So they say boiling time is half of what a normal I heard it's actually faster than gas.
Yeah,
which is impressive,
and more even apparently as well. So we're pretty excited for it.
What if you let's say you take the frying pan off to flip things around?
I think it's because it's very quick. You put it back.
It doesn't matter.
I don't think so. Okay. That's a good question though.
Because I think it cools down a lot quicker.
Yeah.
I mean, the pan holds its heat. Anyways.
Yeah, they say it takes a while to get used to, like the if you're going from like a boil to a simmer, making those adjustments because it's instantaneous. So they say like when you step down the heat, you actually have to kind of step it down.
Right.
So there's a learning curve with that stuff, but
yeah, which is similar to gas too. Yeah. I think electric's probably the hardest one to figure out.
Yeah, because it's like anything else, you figure it out, I guess.
Yeah,
but I mean, for us, I think it was wise for us to actually buy those two together. The way our kitchen is configured, when you kind of turn the corner, you see those stacks together. But one of my biggest pet peeves, as well, thinking about it, is when people don't replace like the set or they don't match. Like it's one thing if you have like a stainless steel fridge, a white microwave, and like a black stove.
Yeah.
Like
even sometimes different makes can have just subtle enough differences that make it look noticeable.
Yeah, like if you have like a brushed handle and then a chrome handle.
Right.
So we have an existing KitchenAid fridge, and the brand we went with was KitchenAid. So it does kind of match that way. And I had a hard time spending the type of money on a new fridge when it's nothing wrong with it. And it's on a different wall completely. So it's not like it's stacked beside it and you can see it that way.
Yeah.
But in terms of an investment, I think it's a good buy for us. I think it definitely adds some value to our house. And when we replace the other ones in the future, we'll be able to match it very easily as well.
Yeah. Well, appliances are unique thing too. So there was, I was looking at a condo recently, just online and flipping through the photos, and it looked really nice, but it had basic white appliances. And then the exact same model that was for sale with the stainless steel, it just completely changed the look of the kitchen. Mm-hmm. So that's something that people may want to consider doing.
I mean, one of the greatest advice, or one of the things advice I got when I was really young from my grandfather was never buy the most expensive and never buy the cheapest. Like there's always like a happy medium somewhere in between.
Yeah.
And I think appliances kind of are like that as well, where, you know, the one option we were looking at, crazy expensive, or in my mind, I thought it was crazy expensive. Like the oven was like $5,000 for the oven.
Yeah.
Didn't go with something that expensive.
Was that the cafe you were talking about? Is that GE?
GE Cafe.
Yeah. Nice appliances.
Super nice.
But completely different price point.
Yeah, I mean, the KitchenAid retail price on the one we ended up going for was it retails for like almost $4,000. Got a crazy deal on it. I won't say how or why, who or what, but awesome deal on it. Didn't pay anywhere close to that. But again, not the most expensive and not the cheapest as well.
Yeah. Well, they're good appliances. Mm-hmm. So you have to tell us how you like it. I have similar on mine. So I have Electrolux, and I have gas top. There's dual fuel.
Cool.
So gas top electric oven.
Those are getting really popular now.
Yeah, and the bottom tray for me is a cooking one too. So you can, I don't know how high it goes. At least 350 because I've gotten it up to 350. I think it goes up to 400. But that comes in handy if you're doing big meals. So like over Christmas time or Thanksgiving. Put a couple side dishes in there to bake while you got the turkey in the oven.
Yeah.
So handy.
Yeah. Now, I find too, with appliances, they can be like the wow feature when you walk into the home, right? Like, if you have like a beautiful Wolf range or gourmet kitchen, that can make up for a lot of other kind of shortcomings in a home.
Yeah.
Right. So really good investment is
well, I think one thing that when people are selling houses, I think one of the biggest misses they make is not educating people on the appliances. Mm-hmm. Right. So listings will always say, oh, stainless steel fridge, stainless steel range, whatever. Actually, that's a whole nother topic. Most people don't know what a range is.
Yeah. But is it a garbage stainless steel basic?
Right.
Not counter depth fridge. Is it 26 inches or is it 36 inches? Right. It makes a huge difference.
Or even little features like some ovens will have a thermometer built in. Yeah. So it comes with a thermometer that, the oven can track the temperature.
Bottom baking drawer.
Exactly. So those are things I think people even induction, like yours.
Yeah, you would never know.
Most people probably don't talk about it unless you read it on the top of the glass top or whatever, which it may say it there. But most people don't even know what that is. Yeah. So educating people on the appliances is really important.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of fridges where they have water and ice dispensers, but they're built in. So the ice dispenser's discreetly tucked away in the freezer and the water's inside the door.
My fridge is like that. We never use it. I find it super slow and kind of a pain, but it does have that built-in water feature. So if the Brita or the bottle is empty, it's a good backup.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, and those are things you should tell people about rather than them buying it, moving in and saying, oh, this thing has a water dispenser.
Well, the other thing I always recommend people do is replace the filters in there because
nobody does that.
No, but it kind of grosses me out thinking when's the last time it got done. And they're not cheap.
No, they're like $40 each.
I think they're 50 bucks for filters, right?
Yeah.
But something no one ever does. So at least if you're moving into the house, at least do it once just so you know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Is yours when you open is yours a French door?
Yeah.
So when you open the left side, is the water thing here?
It's on the left hand. So you open it up, it's on the side.
With the little gray button on top? It's the most stupid design. Because you got the door open, you're holding your glass, and you have to like reach past the door to push the button.
It's slow too.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. I think like a lot of appliances are made by the same company.
Yeah, well, I think the KitchenAid, Whirlpool, Maytag, and something else are all the same.
Yeah.
And even to the point where I was just ordered parts for my fridge for something little, and literally it fits like I think the model number of the part and what it fit, it must have been 50 units long.
Oh my goodness.
Like it's just it goes to show, I mean, they're really do your research, do your shopping. You think you might be looking at different options,
right?
And they're the same thing, different knobs, different batch.
Yeah.
But what's the difference, really?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on fridges with the big screen in it? So my in-laws got a new, I think it's Samsung.
Yeah.
With the screen.
Yeah, the smart hub, I think they're calling it.
Yes.
Yeah. I love the idea of it. Mm-hmm. I'd rather something more basic and like higher end features than a screen.
Yeah.
And I worry about what happens if it becomes obsolete or updates, or if the software breaks. Now you got this big screen that doesn't work on your
would
fridge.
Suck.
Yeah.
If you had a useless, non-functioning screen.
Yeah. I love the idea of playing music or having grocery lists or leaving notes. Like I love a calendar there.
Well, whenever we go over there, the kids are always playing with it because you can doodle on it and take pictures and stuff like that. So they use it for that.
I love the idea. I don't think it's there for me just yet. Oh.
I couldn't hear what you said.
Did you talk to my Siri?
No.
She is on something today.
But yeah, no, I love the idea of it. I think down the road, 100% every fridge is going to have it. Don't think it's there just yet.
No. The one thing I think that at some point that may tie into, I'm sure it's their plans are to incorporate it. But at some point, I think fridges will have something built in to monitor everything that's in it.
They have that already.
But not to the degree where like, if you're putting let's say you buy milk and you put it in. Like it knows, it must have like an RF or whatever sensor that is embedded into the packaging. So you put it in, fridge detects it. Yeah. It knows the expiry date. I don't know if it can monitor usage. I'm pretty sure there's ones that have
cameras on the inside that you can actually see the inside.
I've heard of that, yeah. I saw something about that.
But to what degree and what's the cost benefit to that, right? Like,
well, at some point it'll be so mass produced it probably will be negligible. Although food costs have already gone up significantly, and then if you add in more expensive packaging, it might not be feasible. But at some point it will. It's inevitable. At some point, your fridge will know what's inside, when they expire, which will come in handy. Because occasionally I find stuff that's really old.
I just did a clean out, not buying the fridge. I wanted to give it like a really good clean.
Yeah.
And it's kind of embarrassing what you find tucked away, or you realize you had a soy sauce that expired in 97 or something.
Yeah. Well, I found a thing of Bailey's in my fridge. And I was like, I haven't had Bailey's for a while. I'm going to have some Bailey's on the rocks. Yeah. So I took it out. It expired 3 years ago.
Oh, man.
But
I don't have that problem with alcohol in my house.
I generally don't
tends to disappear.
But so I wasn't sure if like alcohol I figured generally doesn't go bad. But this has cream in it. So I looked it up, and on their website it just says they don't guarantee the taste.
Yeah.
After.
So did you drink it?
I tasted it.
And?
It was it didn't taste like it was bad. It just didn't taste good.
Yeah.
Like it was, I don't know how to put it. It was stronger. in terms of alcohol content than it might normally be. It wasn't as sweet, perhaps, but it didn't taste like moldy or like the cream had gone bad.
Well, that's good. I'm happy you're still with us.
Yeah.
You might find amazing, or it's kind of.
Then hang on. And then I dumped the bottle, and it was like 3/4 full. And Alicia comes down in the morning and sees this empty bottle of Bailey's, and she thought I drank the whole thing.
You know what? I think with appliances, getting back to it, it's you're an adult when you start getting excited shopping for appliances. So I remember like buying our first appliance, and we couldn't afford the highest. I'm still getting excited for like new ones, and now it's like looking at the new fancy stuff, and you get excited for things like steam drawers and baking drawers, and
you have a steam drawer.
It has a steam rack in the new oven.
How does that? What does that?
You fill it with water and put moisture back into it. I haven't really.
Interesting.
It's a feature. We'll probably never use it, but it's one of those things I'm really excited for.
Yeah.
Even the new microwave, it's the low profile.
Yes, I've seen those.
So it's only, I think it's 10 inches or so. So it's like more backsplash and better kind of clearance when you're cooking.
Yeah.
But it has one of the highest suction powers out there. I'm super excited to try this fan.
Yeah.
Because that's like, I hate when they're, you're cooking something and steam and condensation goes up.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be quiet. I'm so excited for, and I feel like a loser saying.
When do you get it?
I don't know. I'm still waiting for the delivery, but I have no microwave.
Chris may have to leave the podcast early to go get his new appliances.
But I was like that with our new washer dryer. Like you get home, you just want to use it.
Do you do laundry?
I do laundry, but we don't fold.
Nobody folds. Nobody folds.
No.
So what happens to your laundry?
There's a meme. I'm not sure if anyone will post it, but there's a meme saying it's something like it takes me 1 day to do laundry and 7 days to fold it.
Yeah,
it's embarrassing. We have like in our laundry room, if it's on the ground outside the dryer, it's clean. It may not be. It may have some wrinkles. But I hate folding. Yeah, and it's folding. I find it takes up a lot of time.
Well, have you not seen those things you can buy? Those boards.
But the kid stuff, I find like the kid stuff is the worst because it's so little. It doesn't look like a lot,
right?
But it's like literally five times
so
the amount
many pieces.
So many pieces.
Well, because they go through so many articles of clothing on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Well, you might want to work on that.
I don't know. What's your favorite appliance to use? Is there any that brings you joy when you use it?
I think I'm past that. I've had mine for 8 years.
Time for new ones.
So I have all.
You've done well then.
Yeah, I have all Electrolux. I've had a little bit of issues, but nothing major. Just like in the freezer, the rack is broken off a couple times. Not broken, but it's come off. So I had to kind of jerry rig it back onto the rails. But it's all worked really well. The one mistake I made when I got it was I didn't opt for an extra $500. The fridge would have had the ice and water built into the door.
I don't like that.
But mine doesn't. Mine has ice in the freezer, and it's amazing. It's full all the time.
I like the freezer ones because it turns over so quick.
Yes, so I'm really happy with that. But I don't have a water dispenser, which now that I think about it, I don't know if I would really use it.
I find for me it's not worth the cost, worth the space you lose in the door.
True.
So, and I find it's slow.
Oh, you know what's really neat is those fridges where you open the door and they have like a secondary glass door.
Yeah.
That's a neat feature.
I feel like another thing to break though.
Yeah.
Like those extra hinges, extra plastic.
I never think of it that way.
Yeah.
It's like, I remember somebody said they didn't want to, they bought a car with power windows. They didn't want to use the power windows in case they broke. Well, why the hell did you buy it? Use it. It won't break. I think odds are in your favor.
Yeah. Well, things aren't designed things aren't built the way they're used to, though, either.
No, I don't know if I agree with that.
I think there's just so much.
I think that's just a saying people say.
I think there's so much more in component, so many.
Jennifer's agreeing with you.
No, yeah. Okay. There's so many more components in things, so maybe even if they're built to the same level of quality, there's more parts, so therefore there's a higher percentage of it failing.
I don't know if I agree. I agree with if there's a failure, it's far more expensive and not as feasible that you can do it on your own.
So I would disagree with that because parts are. Okay. I just ordered parts online for my fridge.
Okay,
their parts are readily available. There's third parties that make them. They're actually fairly inexpensive, and you can always find there's like 4 million videos on how to fix it yourself.
This is true.
So I
do have the occasional problem with my dishwasher. I think I'm going to need a new pump.
Yeah.
For the drain cycle.
Okay.
So
I wouldn't mess around with a dishwasher though because of the water.
I'm not too concerned. I'd like to think I'm pretty handy. We'll see. Although my basement is finished, I hope my insurance company is not listening to this.
Yeah, exactly. No, like for me, like water, anything with water, I don't mess around with myself. I don't mind doing electrical work. I don't mind doing fixing stuff. Anything with water, I don't.
Electrical's risky. Well, basic stuff, you mean like switching light switches and light fixtures?
Well, like trying to fix the fridge myself, that type of thing. But anything with water, plumbing, I get a professional in. I don't even mess around.
Yeah.
I'm worried that won't put a washer on and it'll cause. And it's not even about the causing that. It's a headache of water. Yeah, water is the worst.
Yeah, I agree. So to answer your question regarding my favorite appliance, I would have to say my gas range.
Yes.
I like having natural gas. I enjoy cooking with it, especially if you're going to flambe or do something. Yeah. That's fun.
See, I've never had gas cooktop, and I've always wanted one, and I hope I don't regret induction and not.
I don't think you'll regret it.
I hope not.
No.
Do you find that most of your clients, how do you feel about gas? Because some people love it, some people hate it.
I find anyone that's had it loves it.
Yeah.
Anyone that hasn't and has kids doesn't want anything to do with it.
That was our thing.
Yeah. And more often than not, although my knobs are up top, more often than not, though, they're
on the front
facing. And they're not, I don't know why they do this. They're not really childproof. Like you have to push it in to turn it.
But not real.
But you could just, I've walked, what did I do once? I had something stupid and I had something on top of it that I took off and it just happened to turn the knob on.
Yeah.
And then you notice it a couple seconds later.
It's amazing. It is amazing they don't make those childproof. Even the electric ones, you think there could be an override or a switch. Yeah. Your dishwasher has a child lock on it, but your stove can't.
Right, not for the knobs.
No.
Not the physical knobs. But anything like you can push the lock button on your stove.
Yeah, there's got to be a way to override that switch for kids if you wanted to.
The only thing I think you can do if you're really concerned about it, but it would look like shit, is remove. Oh, I've never seen covers.
There's covers you can buy, but apparently their kids figure them out in like.
You can take the knobs off.
Yeah.
They just slide right off. Yeah. But then it looks stupid.
Exactly.
That kind of defeats the whole
All
purpose.
I'm saying is there's got to be a way. There's got to be a way to do it safely because they're so easy to turn on.
Yeah.
Really, you brush up against it, it turns on.
Or same, like I don't really childproof my house. You just teach your kids.
Yeah.
Right?
There's always, you got friends that come over or something. There's always situations where it'd be nice to have it locked. Or there's that phase where kids do it. They do it because they're at that age where they're going to do it.
Yeah. I guess.
Yeah. My house isn't childproof really at all either.
Yeah.
Because the kids know better. But they've always attempted it once or twice. Yeah. Just catching them in the act.
Yeah. Well, it's a legitimate concern. Yeah. People are always saying that. And there's not much you can do.
Yeah.
But maybe those covers would work. I've never heard of them.
Yeah. They look like shit.
Yeah, for sure. Anything you're doing to either remove or cover up will look bad.
Yeah.
Any childproofing looks stupid, especially when you put like foam on every corner of the house. Yeah. I've seen people do that, like every corner of a wall with a foam strip on it. Just ridiculous. Like, let your kid bonk their head once or twice.
Kids look cool with black eyes.
They do. Yeah. And they get over it. And then they learn that they shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
If they just hit a wall and it's soft, they're never going to learn. And then one day they'll hit a hard wall.
I know. I'm a little worried. My youngest is always black and blue. I'm like a little worried.
Tessa's got bruises everywhere.
Yeah.
Her legs are terrible. She's getting better now, but
it's funny. Usually it's the youngest is like that.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that because McKenna, she's only 2.5, but she is like a risk taker. She will climb up on the couch, walk along the arms in the back.
Your house.
Well, but I think it's good. I think, you have to keep an eye on them, and we do, and we, tell them when they're doing something wrong, and you correct them, and they get better. But she pushes her limits.
Yeah, and I think that's true of a lot of second kids.
Yeah.
Is there any appliance in your house you'd like to upgrade that you haven't yet? Are you just happy with what you have?
I'm happy with them.
Is that because you're cheap, or is that just because
it's frugal?
Yes,
frugal first of all, not cheap. I don't know. I mean, no, I'm happy with them.
Okay.
Yeah. and I don't want to spend the money.
So you're cheap.
How long do you figure they'll last? 8 years so far.
8 years.
At least 10 years.
I think that's more than most people get out of theirs.
No.
I think so.
Really?
Yeah. I think that's about at 10 years, I would say maybe is average. Maybe. High end.
Yeah. 10 years, that's an interesting time for just in terms of the age of many components in the house. Like builder grade roofs, 10 years, you're basically done.
Windows, you're getting to that point.
Windows, maybe. Lots of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
It is an interesting point that it seems like that 10-year window.
Like, do I move or do I spend $50,000 to update the house?
It could be that.
Yeah. I mean, the moving aspect always costs more.
Yeah.
Between all the different immediate costs and then, land transfer tax to buy a new house. And then you're going to buy a new house. You're going to buy new things for it anyways.
Yeah.
So just spend the money on your own.
Yeah.
Unless you have a reason to move. I don't know. Some people want a bigger house. Everybody always wants bigger and better.
I don't want bigger.
No?
No. I'm pretty happy.
The only reason I would move is for more property. Yeah. Which a lot of people are doing now.
Yeah.
One big thing I think people should always do is get a counter depth fridge.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it's a huge difference.
It does. It looks nicer. It looks more custom, more built in. And for those not familiar, just basically counter depth means exactly that. It sits as far out as a counter. So you're, I don't know, maybe 4 to 5 inches shallower than a traditional standard depth. And I find you don't actually lose much space. I think they're just maybe built better. Yeah. So, and that's why they cost more. But
not even that much more. I think it usually adds
$200 or $300 maybe.
Maybe a little more.
Maybe
500-ish.
Yeah. For that, it's worth it. And especially if it's a smaller kitchen where maybe across from the fridge is your island and it's just your standard kind of 30 to 36 inches of walkway. Mm-hmm. That extra few inches is, it's more than 10% of, adding extra space to that little walkway.
Makes it look nice and fresh.
It does. Heather and I both recently had a situation with clients we were working with selling their house, and close to closing after the sale had gone through, their fridges stopped working. Yeah. Have you experienced that?
I haven't. I've experienced myself my washer and dryer a week before we were going to sell our house.
Okay, so what did you? Oh, before you were going to sell?
Yeah, on the market.
So did you fix it or replace it?
Replaced it.
Okay, with
basic, beyond basic. No, but yeah, I can see that's super stressful. I mean, you like knock on wood, right? You want to make sure that you're. Well, first of all, you're obligated to hand over the home in the same condition that the person bought it. That means if the fridge is working, it's working at closing. So did they have to replace it, or you get it fixed, or what happened there?
In both instances, I believe they agreed on some form of compensation.
Yeah.
But yeah, it happens. And go figure, last minute, unexpected. It really sucks.
Yeah.
Because if it had been a week later, it would have been the buyer's responsibility.
Yeah. Well, that's a situation where you definitely don't want to hide it. And
no.
Most of the times, the seller or the buyer, I would imagine, would be happy to actually buy a new one themselves and pick out something that they actually like and enjoy using.
For sure. I don't think you should be, unless it was a brand new fridge or very, not very old at all. Yeah. You're not going to be on the hook in most cases to replace it with a brand new one. No. But some form of compensation to take into consideration that they should have a similar comparable product,
like model, factor depreciation over time and use.
Yeah, you lucked out because they bought it with the appliances you replaced it with, so it's not like you had to buy fancy stuff.
Yeah. Do you find it weird when people exclude certain appliances?
Yes, sometimes people do strange things.
I think if you're going to exclude an appliance, move it out. Yes. Put it in storage, find somewhere to put it, and then replace it.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where I find when people say like the fridge is excluded, it could be like a shit basic fridge, and then the person buying the home envisions them spending $5,000 when really it's
the value
$2,000, right? Their idea of value versus actual value is completely different.
Yeah. No, I agree. In most cases, I think substituting anything that's being excluded before it goes on the market is a good idea.
Yeah.
I've had people exclude washer and dryer because they were given to them as like wedding gifts.
Yeah.
It's just kind of weird stuff. So sentimental value, whatever, I understand it. But their washer and dryer, your new house will have it as well. I don't know.
I just find it weird when people exclude it. I don't know. I guess if you really love it, but at the same time, replace it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I just did one of the properties that clients purchased. They excluded a fridge, and it was like a basic-ish fridge. Like, it was nothing special.
Yeah.
And
it might have been sentimental, something like that.
Maybe. It's funny, though. The clients who bought the home, they replaced it with the exact same fridge.
Why?
They just liked that fridge.
It stopped working?
No, well, so it was excluded.
Oh, it was excluded,
sale.
Right? Got it.
And then the people, they just wanted the exact same fridge.
Okay,
it was.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
was it? It was not particularly nice. Though.
It was just okay.
It just looked good. They thought it suited.
It was just an okay fridge.
I feel like if you're going to spend money, you should get something different.
Yeah,
I don't know. Whatever floats your boat. So anyway, yes, appliances, I enjoy them.
Yeah.
I get excited about them. And
not excited enough to spend any money on them.
Not yet. But I will. Yeah. But at that point, I will probably, I don't know if I'd say that, but I would contemplate redoing the whole kitchen.
Yeah. We're doing we're going to have our cabinets painted, replace pendants, maybe do countertops. So this is just kind of like step one of like our mini remodel kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think last thing maybe here is that people should be aware of is when you're buying a home, appliances, test them out for yourself before you make an offer, if you can. During your revisits, home inspections often don't cover, and I never came across one that will test your appliances for you.
I have.
Yeah?
Yeah. Really? Well, I mean, like during the
home inspection, there's always like waivers and exclusions for it. They do test them, but
it probably doesn't cover it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I would always say test it for yourself to make sure you're comfortable.
Yeah. Turn the burners on, turn the oven on, run the dishwasher, washer, dryer, all that stuff. Just obviously not if there's clothes in it.
Yeah. Which maybe.
Or cloths. Well, remember that recently there was a guy.
Cloth dryer. Cloth washer.
Cloth washer.
Yeah.
Cloth. I can't even say that. Cloth washer.
Yeah. Only for cloth.
Only for cloths. Yeah.
No, but I always again make sure that you're testing them out for yourself and that they are in working order.
Yeah, and especially if they're anything but basic.
Yeah.
Put the serial number in the agreement.
Yeah.
Because some people, if the appliance does break, they may replace it with something similar. Or something not similar, just a stainless steel appliance. So if your offer says included stainless steel refrigerator and that's all it says, then it's up for interpretation.
Exactly. I mean, we always make sure we always put existing. And then if it's a high end, like a Wolf range, have that serial number in there as well. Great tip there for sure. Because otherwise it's up to interpretation, right?
Yeah. That's it. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, appliances. Woo!
That's it for episode 57. How long was that, Jen? 25 minutes?
Maybe.
It was a quick one.
The other 20.
I got to go for lunch.
Good.
Thanks for listening. Have a good day.